Spec! Walk! What do you say? So, you know, when you're drunk and high.
Right. Or like the ocean, when you're like, my cabinet's not on, we'll hear it.
I'll be in the back going,
should have had Tonex. Anyways, don't be that person.
Yeah.
Just get it. Duh.
So what's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. Today is going to be a ton of fun. I promise you. We have an amazing piece of gear here to check out. If you guys don't know who I am, what's up? My name is Xander Raymond Charles, the mighty XRC. And yeah, dude, I love digital modelers. I love everything digital here in 2025. I came from analog world more or less, like, you know, using tube amps and pedals and stuff like that. Anymore touring and traveling and recording at home, I'm all digital. So when a company like IK Multimedia makes a beautiful guitar speaker cabinet for your modeler, I'm on board. Full transparency, IK Multimedia sent this product over for me to check out and share with you all. However, as always, there's nothing I need to say or do other than to chug, riff, hang out, and just talk about the features with this guitar cab. This is more or less an FR full range flat response speaker for your amp modeler. Basically, you plug it in here and then you have the ability to get sound out of a modeler through this cabinet. Plug your modeler in here, turn it on, and then get a handful of volume, and then you can hear your modeler through this speaker. So there's a ton of features on this unit, but I want to bring in an expert for this video to talk about this piece of gear, okay? Let's cut to that right now. We're talking about a cool piece of gear, but also too, the reason why we're all here today, we have the beautiful, the lovely, the gorgeous Jenna, my wife, back here on the channel to hang out and talk all things guitar gear.
Hello, everybody.
Thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with us today. I love you so much.
I love you too.
This is going to be a lot of fun.
Yes.
Everybody, say hi to Jenna. Don't be rude. You in the back, I saw that. So today's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have an expert talk about the Tonex Cab sent to us by IK Multimedia.
So I'm just going to take it away.
Yeah, as you should.
As the expert.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So right here is a Tonex cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
You have these dimensions, this perfect shape for the big speaker that's in here, along with the little speaker,
which is over there.
Which is over there.
All that together, how would you describe that sound?
Optimal sound for big sounds, big volume, big sounds. Just a slap in the ears, just slap in the ears with sound, and that's really what you want.
Oh, they're gonna say, and that's it.
No.
Subscribe.
And I'm done.
Yeah.
No, we have a ton more features to go through.
Yes.
So I'm just gonna hop right into that.
Yes, ma'am.
So. Obviously, these need to be turned on and off. We have a power light that shows you if it's on or off. It illuminates this bright orange, red, yellow color, so there's no mistaking if it is on or off. Where a lot of you guys will relate is where, I don't know if you will, so just bear with me, but
I'm here to learn.
When you are about to set up and play on stage in front of like thousands of people, you need to know if this is on or not. Imagine it's plugged in, you're 2 seconds away from the first song, right? You go to hit the first note and nothing's coming out. You hear no sound. You go look, oh my gosh, it's not even on. With this, you won't ever have that problem. This is so bright that the people in the crowd can let you know if it's on or off. And give you one of these.
Hey, is it on?
Right. Forget sound check.
Light check.
We got light check here.
Cool.
Aux level.
This is good.
From 0 to 10.
Tell me how I could use that.
So you could use that like sound plugged into sound.
Okay. Go on, tell me more.
Like, you know, when you're using an aux cord, you got your phone plugged into an aux cord.
Right.
Plugged into something, either a speaker or your car or something.
Or the Tonex Cab by IK Multimedia.
Exactly. So you could plug this in to this.
Right. And then I could also...
aux.
No. You could plug it into the guitar input or the input over there. You see, like, you're just... Are you drunk again?
A little bit.
Yeah, all right. Well.
Also, we have a bass knob. Bass, self-explanatory. But if you don't know what bass is, that's the loud boom, boom, boom that you hear in a song. That's what makes the windows shake. That's what makes your house rattle. That's what makes you think the ice cream man is coming. But no, it's someone in their Nissan Altima.
That ain't ice cream, baby.
Hey, ripping that bass. And you're like, man, I wanted ice cream. But no, that's the bass. This bass goes all the way up to, starts at -10. It goes all the way up to +10.
0 is like coming out of your modeler. Just a little plug. We're using a Nano Cortex just out of frame. So at 0, from what she's told me, is that if you're at 0, it's not altering the bass with your modeler. But if you want to carve some out with the speaker or add some, gotta add some every once in a while. A little bit of more low end, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you get it. So from there, you can add more low end, for example, through the Tonex Cab.
We have a mid knob, also starts at -10, goes up to +10.
What's mid short for?
Mid, short for middle, obviously.
Where is it located between the other equalization knobs?
In the middle.
Great design.
Of bass and treble.
Tonex Cab. Pretty
Perfect.
cool. Yeah.
So smart. Genius. I get it. I agree with it. Treble also starts at -10, goes up to +10. Treble is opposite of bass. Bass is low and heavy. Treble is high and light.
So, like, when you're losing your hearing, you know, well, if you want to add a little bit more high end into your tone, you grab the treble knob.
Right. Thank you. I was going to say that.
Huh?
Yeah. Actually, yours is more selective rather than not being able to hear.
Selective.
Yeah. Amp tone. You have the spectrum of mic or live. And mic will give you a more focused sound.
Yeah, baby.
Right?
Yeah.
As if you were singing into a microphone.
Like in the studio.
Like in the studio. It's more focused. It's dialed in. We're live. The live sound will be a little bit more as if you're like at a live show. It'll have more variables in the background, like
the roar of the crowd.
Yeah.
So, you know, when you're drunk and high.
Right. Or like the oh shit when you're like, my cabinet's not on. We'll hear it.
I'll be in the back going,
should have had Tonex. Anyways, don't be that person.
Yeah.
Just get it. Duh. And then the preset, not, you know, I'm going to have you, I'm a little tired in my throat, so.
You've been doing such a great job. Allow me.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. You just kick back and look pretty. So do nothing.
Yes.
Nothing new. So the preset knob is multifunction. You can push as well as you can turn. So first and foremost, you have the ability to load your impulse responses into this, where if I'm using my modeler, my Nano Cortex, and I want to use the IR loader, if I want to use the Welcome back.
I was looking at your Nano Cortex, the like lit up stuff, and I just zoned out. Anyways, what were you talking about?
You can use an impulse response on this, and you can just turn off your impulse response on your modeler to where if you want to have like your own specific impulse coming through here to where it colors your sound, you can do that. Use it more like a traditional speaker, guitar speaker. Is that everything?
No. So last but not least, we have the volume knob.
I want you to do me a favor. Get a handful of volume and crank it, okay? Ready?
Yep. My goodness. Talk about slap of sound.
Right in the ears. We have it on like, what, 4?
Yeah.
And I'm just at like under half volume on my Nano Cortex. So, like, in all seriousness, all jokes aside, this thing is ridiculously loud. So it can keep up with the band setting. It can do anything, to say the least. Could you just really quickly tell the audience what the amp tone knob is at right now?
So the amp tone knob is at mic.
Okay, so this is the mic sound. Go to live real quick. Mm-hmm. To my ears, being the guitar player, it sounds a lot more mid-rangey with live. I kind of like some maybe in the middle. Like, could you put it in the middle real quick? Thank you, dear.
Yes.
That's a nice happy medium. I do think I like mic a little bit better, but when you crank up the live, it does add more mid-range and, you know, whatever you want to call that sound live versus mic, I like somewhere in the middle for me personally. Could you do me a favor? Could you just twist the mid knobs for me? Let's see how scooped this is. It's at like 1 o'clock right now, so I'm just going to chug and you just twist it to the left, honey. Very scooped. Now all the way to the right. Very like mid-rangey, very boxy. You hear how it's kind of like whoa, 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 whoa,
yeah.
whoa. So mid-range is good because the guitar is a mid-range focused instrument. And I think you want to have more mids than not, but you know, it's obviously to taste. Could you turn the mids to about noon for me? Just crank the bass really quick, just up and down.
Okay.
If I did this.
Ring, spec, walk, what is it?
And then be sparing with the treble. Go up, and then just, it'll get bright pretty quick, I think. It'll cut through a mix, especially in a live setting, really well, but be sparing with it. But, I mean, it's cool that you have an equalization on the cab to further dial in from the speaker rather than having to mess with it on your modeler. Because each room's different, each venue's different. You can further shape the sound with this. I want to thank you for coming on and educating not only me, but the mass amounts of people that watch this video.
Yeah, I hope you guys learned something today, because I sure did.
I really appreciate you so much, honey.
Yeah, of course.
Love you. You're the best. And you're
Thanks,
always
honey.
so fun to be on camera with.
Thanks, honey.
So seriously, everybody, I sincerely dig this thing. I think it sounds great. I love how it just sounds like an actual guitar cabinet. And, you know, one thing that separates this unit from, say, a different FR that I've used in the past is this one's made out of wood and it feels like an actual cabinet, whereas before, other FR speakers felt plasticky and they felt like they couldn't really focus the sound. It felt like the whole thing was just rumbling. It sounded like a blown out Bluetooth speaker or something like that. This is built very well. It has a lot of resonance and a lot of focused tone. I dig that a lot. This thing has a ton of different features, man. On the back, for example, you have a pre and post switch. Basically, you can have this be like a send, meaning like you can plug in your modeler through here and then you can send it on its merry way. And then when you have it up to pre, to the best of my knowledge, none of the knobs work on this unit, but when you have it set to post, that means it's like after all the coloring and alterations of the sound and signal from the Tonex Cab. So in post, this is coloring the sound, this is altering the sound, however you choose to make it do so. But if you set the pre, it just passes through and you can just hear the sound from the unit, you know, your modeler through this thing, but this is not necessarily coloring any sort of sound. It's a very elaborate, very detailed, very nerdy way to use this unit, but again, you just have the ability to use this thing in abundance of ways. So all in all, everybody, shout out to IK Multimedia for sending this over. Shout out to my wife for hanging out with me today and just jamming, you know, and just goofing off with me. And shout out to you guys watching this video at home. I really sincerely appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below on this cabinet. And with that being said, everybody, I'm out of here. Love you guys so much. See you guys in a video very, very soon. Later.